This is where everybody groups up and meets from the penitentiary. All blocks are meeting for breakfast and dinner. When you walk up and get your breakfast, they hand you your sack lunch, so you're good till dinner. But the whole thing about the chow hall is the energy exchanges that I speak of, the language of the universe, the vibration, the energy you feel when in close vicinity with other individuals. There is no more place that this is apparent than the penitentiary, because everybody has been stripped of all outside influences and distractions. You're just feeling people's energy out, who they are, what they're about, how scared they are, how down they are, how comfortable they are. This all happens instantaneously when you've been down long enough. I don't care how swole you are. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how down you are on the street. If you ain't comfortable in the setting of the penitentiary, it's gonna be fucking obvious. Motherfuckers are gonna shark on that energy. They're gonna be like, look at so-and-so. He's looking around like a fucking bobblehead, checking everywhere, and the regs aren't even tripping. They're just getting their food, they're sitting with their people, and they're staying in line. In the chow hall, everything is being passed. Kites are being passed, dope's being passed, clavos of food from the kitchen, so a sack of some food from the kitchen, they're being passed. And that's why it's a liability to even go to the chow hall. A lot of the players in the dope game, a lot of the people using dope, they don't even go to the chow hall because they're usually sitting on something back at the pad. But the point is somebody's going to ask you to hold something. And if you're a convict, you can't say no to your people. There is no saying no. Your people walk up on the low, there's COs around, and they slide you something. You grab that, and you deliver it. There is no questions asked. It doesn't matter if it's a piece or if it's a fat-ass sack of black or white. It don't matter what it is. You're grabbing it, and that's the liability in the chow hall. I've seen more COs get taken off on in the chow hall than anywhere, because the rules in the system are, if a CO grabs one of your people, if he hems up one of your people, if he disrespects one of your people, you and your people have to take off on him. So I don't know, I can probably say 10 times throughout my last term, I seen the homies pack out a CO over this exact reason. Someone dropped a kite to a homie, not too low pro. The CO saw it. He was doing his job. He hemmed up that inmate, and the Southsiders took off on him. They're not going to let the CO grab up on him. And this is a good protocol when it comes to politics in the penitentiary, because there is evil COs. There's good ones, but there's evil ones. And the evil ones that try to harass certain individuals, try to fucking set up certain individuals, and try to cause problems on certain inmates, they know they can't get away with it because everybody's riding. If the CO comes up, tries to grab me, hem me up, treat me some sort of way, disrespect me, disrespectfully to me, then my people, usually about 20 of them that are in the chow hall with me, are all riding. There is no fucking questions asked. They're riding with me, and if they don't, they're getting booked. That's the penitentiary. My boy the other day wrote me, and he said, Wes, this is bullshit. I'm like, what, big dog? He's like, I'm getting out in fucking 3 weeks. And when I went to chow, I came back to my spot, and the fucking captain calls me over, and there's a bone crusher under my pillow. Like I put that there. He's like, they're trying to set me up, big dog. What the fuck do I do? And he's in the back right now. He's pissed. So this is what happens. If they fucking don't like you, they're not letting you go. So learning how to play your energy to both sides of the fucking fence, to the COs and the inmates, to make everything clear so that you make it out alive. This is how the penitentiary goes. All too often there's problems in there. I remember distinctly one time, I'm just walking back. It's a normal fucking day. I just ate my tray. I'm going back to the spot. I'm at Delano. I slide my tray into the window where you put your tray in, the tray slot window, where there's a little opening and there's a fucking, it's closed. So you only see their hand. So I try to push my tray in, and the dumb fuck on the other side, inmate, he held the tray from going in and pushed it back out onto my shirt and it fell in the trash and got shit all over my shirt. So I picked the tray up, I'm pissed as fuck. I sling it into the scullery where they do the fucking dishes. I sling this motherfucker in the scullery, and it fucking ricochets all around the motherfucker. And I got my head up in there. I'm like, what's up, fool? Come out here. Yeah. And I'm heated. And it's another race, so it's about to go down, and I'm fully committed. So then I look over, and the CO who's on the outside of the chow hall, because we're about to walk out the door, he's like, hey, Watson, come here. And so I start walking over there. He's like, what's going down? I said, nothing. And I keep walking, so we go back to the building. Now, the dude's people came up and apologized right away. I had the block at the time. His people's people came up and talked to me. And they said, Wes, I hope there's no fucking I hope you're not pissed. I hope it's all good. And I said, I'm good. Just don't play fucking games. There is no games here. We're not playing those games. All too often, motherfuckers try to joke with motherfuckers who aren't joking. If you're a jokester, keep that shit with the jokesters. And don't push that on people who don't want it. We need to learn that these energy exchanges are everything. You can placate your position in life just through understanding energy. I run into people a lot out here who have a heightened ability to sense my energy and theirs that I feel. So the point is everyone always asks me about what books I read about this stuff. It can't be done through books. It's done through life. This is how we instill this into our being. We just feel it. It's created. And you know those people who are just numb to that, they don't even really fully understand it or grasp it. So the chow hall is just a straight wreck, from the politics to the kite passing to all the problems. Because the players who run it, they don't go to chow. They got a lot of food in their locker. They're making spreads. They're sitting on something at the pad or watching over something that's being sat on so that their shit don't get taken. They don't go up in the chow hall. That's when they hit the block. Whenever you're in the chow hall, that's when the fucking cops come hit your cell. That's when they hit the block. That's when you come back and you're like, motherfucker, they just went through all my shit. They took my shit, about to get hemmed up. Most people just hoop their shit and they go, or they got someone sitting on it who don't go to chow. So the point is the chow hall's the biggest wreck. That's where you notice people's energy the most. Don't be that half-stepping motherfucker, but don't put on that fake tough guy shit. I hate that movie shit where people say, you just go take off on the biggest guy in there. That's not what you do in the penitentiary. In the penitentiary, you just be true to who you are and you'll be respected. In this life right here, this life, your truth is always accepted. And someone like me always stood up for the underdog, or the guy who's kind of embarrassed, who's slightly timid, just because he was himself. And the halfway motherfuckers would always try to shark on that fool, but I always had his back. I'm like, nah, you leave that motherfucker alone. He's just being himself. Let him be. Now, is he impervious to the work he's going to have to put in? No, he's not. Nobody is. So when you walk in that chow hall and you got 2 months left, you got 30 days left, and one of your people don't give a fuck, they're from the other side of the yard, they don't know you're paroling, they try to hand you something, you better grab that shit. And that's the reality of the pen. You're a victim of the circumstances going on. You're being dictated. It's a dictatorship. It's not a democracy. You cannot say no. And if you do, you know what time it is. This is the thing. Don't get yourself in a position to where you can no longer control your life fully. The only way I was able to make it out alive and to make it to where I'm at today is because of the leadership. Because I was creating the assets, because I didn't rule with that dictatorship in mind. I wanted the best for them, so I got them to change on their own, the people I was around. And then the people in the other blocks around us were like, fuck, I want to go fuck with Wes. These fools are getting results. These fools are talking some positive shit. These fools are on some real shit. And that's what I see out here today, and that's what I'm proud of. That's what I'm most proud of, is all you guys who see the bullshit behind that negative energy. I have extreme negative energy. It's my biggest daily battle. The biggest thing in life is that we don't wish away our negative traits. Wishing away our negative traits does nothing to fucking get rid of them. We will fight them every day for the rest of our lives. The only way to truly keep them at bay is to know they're coming, be ready, and have your answers in place when they do come. So when I start to get negative, I step back in my mind. I have a strong witness, as they call it. I watch my mind working from a bird's eye view. And I'm saying, these thoughts aren't me. This isn't what I want. This isn't what I desire for my future, and I change it before I make a mistake. This is how it's done. Step back, have a strong witness, make the choices that get you where you want to go in this life. Don't end up in that chow hall. Don't be that dude. You ain't that dude. Nobody